Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're from. Welcome to the WCS League here on YouTube and here at the Hockenheim National Circuit. We are about to get ready. Actually, I say we're about to get ready. We're already underway with qualifying here. Kumar already in the lead, and well, he's got a lot of competition today. I'm Digital Bacon, otherwise known as Corey Dyer by my family and friends, of course, and I'm joined by the lovely Menno Klont. How are you doing there, Menno?
Yeah, hello, Corey. Hey. So we're back. Well, or just starting. You're new, and of course in here, and I'm yeah, old furniture. But
Senpai.
yeah. So yeah, a new season always brings new drivers, but also new commentators. So I'm really looking forward to this season, and yeah. Hopefully we'll have a great season ahead of us, and yeah, if it is that good as the last season where we had three people in the end fighting for the championship with an epic battle, then yeah, it should be fine. So yeah, so we're currently watching the qualifying for the first race here at the Hockenheim ring, the national layout, and currently our first Indian, Naranjan Kumar, is having pole position, but we still have 5 minutes to go. But yeah, for Niranjan it's looking very good, of course. We're now currently on board with him in his racing team Schoten car, and you can just see he's on fire.
He is indeed leading at the moment, but I will warn him, he's about 1.5 tenths behind the free practice time, still 5 minutes in it. Adam Pintz is definitely looking to be able to snuff out those 3 100ths. And of course, then you had Jason Muscat setting a much faster time, all the way up there, 1:2.52. He was able to break in to the 2 tenths there, which is just really outstanding, isn't it, there?
Yeah, they're doing really good times, and if you see what they're currently capable of, then wow. I think everybody that's now doing a time in the 125 is really a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, even if you do 26, you're not too far off. Yeah, you think, oh, you're a second slower, but yeah, of course, a second is much in sim racing, but still, for now, it's pretty close, and it's looking pretty good.
I
So,
was looking through free practice 2 and 3 there, Menno, and just noticing the amount of work that some of these drivers were putting in. They know this is a new league and they've got to kick it off right, don't they? Let's talk about the setup. The whole format of this league. Can you run it for us? Like,
yeah.
We've got qualifying going here, and then what? I hear we've got 2 races coming up today.
Yeah, we've got a 40-minute race, yeah, it will be a timed race or a lap race, and whatever comes first is that will be the case. And yeah, normally it will be around 40 minutes, so the amount of laps we are going to do is around 40 minutes as well. And yeah, if 40 minutes...
Damn. I'm going to cut you, buddy. I've got to step in. Wesley Stefano has just dropped into the 124s. 124.983. The fastest lap we have seen here on Hockenheim in WCS. That is absolutely nuts.
Yeah, that's absolutely nuts. That's really much faster than we expected. So I wonder how he did that. We of course missed it.
3 tenths above anything we've seen so far today. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's really ridiculous. But that might be yeah, the lap of his life, and yeah, we can blame him for that. But yeah, this is actually very good. Well, I see Aaron Jadowski now getting a very good lap as well. So it's
yeah, sorry, I cut you off there earlier. So back to the format. So we've got this endurance race coming up first, with a mandatory pit stop, and then how do we lead into the second race, more of the sprint here?
Yeah, well, we will have the finishing order of race 1. Then the top 10 will be reversed, so the 10th position actually very important. So top 10 will be reversed, number 10 on pole position for race 2, and the winner of race 1 will get into P10. And everybody behind P10, so from 11 downwards, will start on the finishing position. So that will be very interesting, and also a key to be continuing in race 1. Don't press escape, because that will cost you maybe 1 or 2 or maybe more starting positions for race 2. Top 15 in both races will give points, so that's looking very good. So yeah, you've got something to race for, and yeah, with two races will be interesting to see how many of those currently 23 drivers will be around there for the points. So yeah, only 15 in race one, but maybe we will see somebody outside of the points in race one can do something in race two.
Well,
So
you say 15 in race one. There is also 1 point up for grabs for setting pole
yeah,
position, fastest qualifying time, and of course the fastest lap in each race. So they may not be the biggest points, but you quite often see a strategy, don't you, Menno? Where
yeah,
you've got these drivers that are maybe around the 10th to 20th mark, and they're like, okay, we're struggling to get into the big points here, but let's just pull off the fastest lap we can.
yeah. That's of course something you can aim for. But yeah, I think the most important thing will be like everything is so close. If you can finish P9 or P10 in race one, you can, well, not easily, but you can. It can be happening that you're so good that you can, yeah, still contend for the win in race two. So it will be very interesting to see, because the top 10 or top 15 will be very close in race speeds, I think. Okay, there will be maybe 3 to 5 guys that I think are a bit faster than the rest today, but yeah, it's not by much. And by the reverse grid of race two, you will see people that uh, that are really fast need to work up to get a good position as well. So it will be very interesting to see what
The
happens.
interesting thing I always find about these touring car leagues here, Menno, is just that every single car is effectively the same. The setup's the same. The only difference is the drivers, maybe their settings as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's also the way how you can drive the car. Some people are more naturally aggressive, and yeah, does that suit the car? Maybe not on tire wear, and that's yeah something you want to look at. And some people are from their abilities are more like Jensen Button, if you know what I mean, like just
Yeah.
taking it easy, but really nice and neat, and that's will be good at the for the tires as well. So that's a thing as well. I can remember from I think a year ago. I'm pretty sure it was Roy Schouten or somebody else that was really quick, but sometimes had problems with overheating of tires. That's a kind of a problem here. So, but
Well,
still,
looking at talking of Roy Schoen, they're up into second now here, Menno.
yeah,
He's been putting on some blistering laps. He's been putting in the practice into FP3, and he's come out second. That all-important first line up on the grid is going to be massive for him because, like you said, where he's a little bit more susceptible to those mistakes, his start is going to be massive, especially since, guys, qualifying is over. We've got the last couple of cars coming on in just to close it out, but what you're looking at here is pretty much locked in. Only 4 drivers still out on the field. Sorry, 3 looking at it. We're just waiting for Roy Verskell. He's actually finished. That should be confirmed. This, I'm just looking at my notepad here, Menno, is not what I was expecting. Predictions already being thrown out the window.
yeah. I must say, Wesley Stefano is really fast, but yeah, it was on nobody's list for for somebody to take pole. No, that's definitely I think what I wouldn't have expected, but he's got pole,
No.
and we didn't see the lap, and yeah, we would like to see it, but of course, yeah, well, it's too late now. So he's got pole position, and yeah, it's very good from him, and I think it's a great start to the season. And yeah, it's very close. And if I believe top 10 is within a second, so it's pretty good. And yeah,
So let's have a little look down the list of qualifying positions. Wesley Stefano taking first, Royce Roten going second, Erhan Jaworski, we'll have a little talk about him later because he is being bigged up by everyone in the community at the moment as maybe a little bit of a riskier driver that this season could break it and make number 1. He's just got to get that consistency. Kumar in 4th, Pinces in 5th. Pinces, of course, was expecting to get more up there, but the competition stays super stiff. Craig Patterson 6th, Jason Muscat, the head of Force Malta, is 7th.
Malta Force, yeah.
Malta Force, sorry about that. Versatile, 8th. Dane Hutt. I have not seen anything like outstanding from him, but getting 9th here against this competition,
Yeah.
pretty darn good, I'd say.
Yeah, Dan Hutt is. I believe he's now just turned 15, and yeah, what you can see with him is like he's getting there. He had some rookie errors in the past, but yeah, with experience, he's getting there. Race by race by race, he's getting better. And actually, if you look at this his lap time in comparison with the pole position, it's actually very good because yeah, everybody in front of him is really a lot older than he is. And yeah, okay, age is not an excuse, but yeah, more experience comes also with age. Yeah, which
Well,
I
it's an
heard.
open league, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
yeah,
anyone can sign up for this.
yeah,
So you're going to have a varying difference in skill. Everyone's in the same car, like I said earlier, so it comes down to the driver.
yeah.
You're talking about that time difference. Wesley Stefano there with a 124.9 right at the back. Unfortunately, Eric, you're getting pointed out here, but
Yeah.
Eric Stanford, a 129. 4 seconds of difference.
Yeah.
We're not being mean. We're just saying, like, everyone's on their own different skill, and we're all here to have fun, aren't
Yeah.
we, really?
Yeah, and I know Eric Stanford actually. I expected much more, so I think he just couldn't get the lap in. I'm pretty sure he would have been in within 1.5 seconds of pole. So then yeah, okay, it would not have been a top 10 position, but he will be around for I think point scoring position if he can just keep it yeah, neat and tidy and no mistakes. I think he can still have a good race. So actually, everybody on the grid, yeah, I think should be should be able to get points. But yeah, only 15 people can get points. So yeah, some people will drop out of the points. But I guess everybody has a chance to get points. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and to get those points, I always say it's about putting that work in. Preparation is key to this. And I just want to bring up Tristan Pos. We were talking to him earlier,
Yeah.
and the amount of work he was putting into free practice, I wouldn't be surprised if the lab was able to rack up about 100 laps today.
Yeah, he was really pushing really hard for it, and yeah. So yeah, it's very interesting what he can do. He tested a lot, had some extra something extra in the car, uh, and yeah, he changed some settings and he felt much better. So interesting what he can do, Tristan. So yeah, we've got people around everywhere around the grid that can do well, and yeah, it will be interesting to see how the race will turn out to be.
Well, the race is just getting set up as we speak. We're out qualifying, and now here on R Factor 2,
Yeah.
we've got the race set up. So
Yeah, we're now in the warm up. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see a bit of a formation lap come out, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which I always find quite funny. If someone mucks up a formation lap, just spins out by accident, then that can upset the whole, system, the whole sort of script that was written out from qualifying. Have you seen any of that in the past couple of seasons where someone's accidentally spun out on a
formation lap?
Yeah.
I think once or twice, but normally no. It's just yeah. You don't want to do that, of course. So yeah, but yeah, it occasionally happens.
Well, Jason Muscat, really was expecting him to get higher than this. I'm going to say here, Menno, where he was coming out first in the practice sessions, and here sitting down in 7th. The biggest thing he's got going from here is that he is so consistent, isn't he? So yeah. I don't think he's going to be sitting in 7th for long.
No. So I don't worry about that. It will be he will be very good. Interesting. Yeah, can't wait for it actually. Where everybody is. So yeah.
Well, I think we're going to have to take this on over to a break, aren't we, whilst we go get the next match set up. Probably put on a little bit of music for the people at home. Does that sound good whilst we get ready and get everything written out and the script ready as we go into the endurance race? Does that sound good there, Menno?
Well, yeah, music, I'm not sure. You want to sing something? No.
Do I have to go send you a hot mixtape or something?
Well, maybe for next time. We've got a few minutes to go. Let's just give everybody just some warm-up laps, and we go on board with some of the drivers. We can do that. That's the best music I think that everybody wants to hear. So we're going to be on board now with the warm-up lap. In the warm-up now from Miguel Muschino. So Miguel Muschino, if I pronounce that name correctly, actually, he's a new guy in the league, and yeah, he has been putting in some fast lap times, and yeah, it looks very good from him. And I guess this is a new driver that can put good results in straight away. He's from Portugal. I just asked him just before the race, so yeah, I expect quite a lot from him. But yeah, the racing is of course pretty strong. So let's see where he can finish. Points on debut will be good, and if he can get a top 10 position, yeah, he can be reversed. So I think that's his target. Actually, I'm going to show you the outside of the car because I really love this car. How it's looking.
That is a nice livery, yeah.
Yeah. And
that just looks so slick.
Yeah, you've got a lot of good liveries that just yeah, a livery can tell a story, if you know what I mean. And yeah, at least that livery is doing it. And now we're going on board with Tristan Potters, or not on board, we're just seeing him from a distance in the Arctic Legends cars. Arctic Legends also a new team for this season. So interesting. We've got loads of new teams, and yeah, loads of teams that stayed. So more half on half. Half of the teams is new, another half of the teams were around there. Now watching
a story here, and
yeah.
Let's just keep on Potters here for a second. Because like I said, we were talking to him before this all started back in free practice 2, I think it was, and he does have these couple of laps like we just saw there, unfortunately, where he goes a little bit wide, but he's not making any crucial errors which could ruin a race room, which is quite a good sight to see for this up-and-coming driver.
Yeah, he's still quite young, and what we saw in the training is that I think the biggest problem for him now is a qualifying lap when it all needs to get out. I think that's his main problem, but I think in a race session he will be all right. So will be interesting to see what he can do. I think he can hold it really good, and with not a lot of lap time changes, I think he will be quite consistent. But we're now going on board with Mantas Rikus in the Elite Virtual Motorsport. That's actually a team from last year. Is back now with one new driver in Mantas Rikus and another driver in, of course, team owner Erik Stanford. So yeah, let's talk a bit about Mantas Rikus. So a new guy from Lithuania. So yeah, I think he's still a rookie in sim racing, and yeah, I think it's also good to have him here. He can develop his skills and also drive very fast. So it will be interesting to see what he can do.
Well, the key point there is that he's paired with Erik.
Yeah.
So he's going to have that more veteran driver who's going to be able to show him the ropes. So going in as a second to him, it's quite a good deal there for Rikus. He should be able to pull off, and he's going to be one of those drivers which we probably won't see the best race. If he gets into the points, that's good. Yeah. But as the league goes on, as the season goes on, he's going to be racking up those points. So you've got to be careful with him, I think.
Yeah, I think with Mantas, if he's there for the whole season, which I expect he will be there for the whole season, because he signed up for the whole season. But I expect him to really, we'll see a certain growth in him. Like, this is the first round. It will be having some difficulties with the car still. It's still quite new for him. But I think when the seasons progress, I think he will get better and stronger. He will find things in his steering wheel, in his in the setup of his steering wheel. If I change that, I have got more feeling, less feeling, and I think he can change that and get better. That's a thing you also need to do. It's not only the driving, but also the steering wheel. What can you set up in there? And I think in all those things, Mantas can get something more out of it. And I think the Mantas you see now, he is already is good. But I think it won't be nothing compared to Mantas of the end of the season. I think, at least I think, he can jump really a lot during this season. So
on a similar note, then, talking about Erhan Javoski, you were saying last season he was sort of beaten out by Williams, who just got the championship, of course. So this season he's got that chance to near enough step out Williams' I would say shadow, who was beating him. And now he's just got to work on that consistency. He does have a good teammate in Jason Muscat, who is a lot more consistent, so he'll be able to secure those points for the constructors. but here for Erhan, he's going to be the one that's gunning for that second spot on the track, ain't he?
Yeah, what it was like, Aaron showed...
They can't hear me on stream, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, they can hear you on the stream? Oh. Okay. We need to fix that.
Be turned up.
Let me see. Yeah. Talking about Aaron, yeah, he came in halfway the last season, and yeah, he showed really quick pace, and now with the whole season coming up, I think he can challenge for the whole for the title. He showed really quick pace, and now with the whole season.
So let's have a look over on Adam Pinces, who unfortunately didn't probably pull off the best qualifier, a bit like Jason, but just from looking at the free practice, this lad is going to absolutely pull something out of the hat. Just quickly looking at the times, was able to do a 1:25.311 in practice. He was just dominating. I think he's going to be one that's going to have to climb through the ranks and probably going to hunt down that number one.
Yeah, he's also a contender actually, and it will be he will be there. Yeah, and like, yeah, we've got 5-6 people that will be there, so it will be everything will be so close and so interesting that, yeah, I can't wait for it. It can be, yeah, the top 7, and they could all win. And yeah, now Wesley has the best papers because he's actually I say, or is it something that's the best papers? He's got the best chance because he's on pole. Yeah. And
as well, it's such a short run up into the first turn, ain't it? Realistically, like, because it's a 90 degrees turn. Sorry, everything's going to be changed there at the first turn. So you could see lads from the second, even the third line, try and jump it and be cheeky and kiting tight. So this race, the start of it is just going to be mind-boggling, I think, here, Menno.
Yeah, I think it will be very tight. Let's see. If everybody can get through that for clean, or there will be some mistakes from drivers. Of course, some drivers didn't drive for a few months, and let's see if they still have that sharpness, that edge, or maybe there will be a little bit of a mistake. But you shall see. A few months.
Yeah, we're sitting on board with Josh Downward, aren't we now? Is there Downard? Sorry. Is there any sort of information you can inform the fans at home about him?
About just Downard, yes. He was driving a few Megane races last season, I believe. He got one podium, but I'm not sure. Yeah, just a good driver, like the majority of the field. But yeah, Josh Downard is somebody that's also pretty young, but still has has a lot of potential. Drafted in quite late, so don't expect too much from him today because he didn't pull in the laps. Yeah, he would like to have done before this, but yeah, he still is a class driver.
I'm just excited to see everything near enough kick into action. Warm up is just wrapping up now. The drivers all making their way back to the pits. Only 10 of them decided to go out for warm up. Do you think
near enough kick
they're all off, making sure they've got their drinks ready there? Now, Menno, do you think they're going for that last toilet break before we get into the race?
Yeah, I think everybody's just getting that, something to drink or something else. So yeah. So I think everybody will be ready now, and we can't wait. Yeah, even in the commentary booth here, this is actually dry here, so it's very good. Is that yeah, it's very. Yeah, I'm really exciting, and I'm not sure how it's with you because it's your first, I believe, Factor 2 sim racing broadcast. But yeah, I'm really exciting.
Yeah, my first time here on our Factor 2 broadcast, and coming over from Project Cars 2, which you may have heckled me about there, Menno.
Yeah.
Saying it's not the best little opener to the world of sim racing, with some funky physics, but I'm just excited because this, I did have a couple of like attempts at racing over in Silverstone on this game, and I can tell you, Project Cars, I could get around the track and put on some decent times, feeling like I was competitive. Hopped onto an online server on this. I was driving, I think it was a Civic touring car, and I was a good 15 odd seconds behind whoever was setting the laps, and I was just, it's so hard to do this game. So massive props to the drivers on the grid today.
Yeah, And while we're now going to the to the starting of the warm-up, so everybody's now lining up, and in a few moments you can do the when we start the formation lap, you can do the the whole starting grid.
Cool.
Yeah, because I cannot see every name, so I just make sure I do the cameras. If you say Wesley Stefano, I just put Wesley Stefano on. And
the lads at home wouldn't really want just tons of floating names above them.
No, so we were not
you
going
can't
to
even see the timings on like the splits between each sector like I've got, which is a bit unfortunate, but I mean, it would take up an entire screen.
Yeah.
Which you can't really have. Anyway, though, we are getting rolling as the cars start their formation lap.
Yes. So you can start the grid walk.
So, leading the pack, we have Stefano. Following him is Schroten, Javoski in third. Kumar takes fourth. The third line is Princes and Peterson. We've got seventh with Muscat and Virgil. Dane Hutt is going to be there in ninth alongside Penny in 10th. 11th, we've got Museno. Galka, 12th. Potters, 13th. Reckers, we were talking about him earlier, is in about midfield at 14th. Hoekstra, I think I've got that name right. I blooming well hope so. They're in 15th. Peter Jones, 16th. Matthew Clip, 17th. Mark Fuller will be there at 18th. Jack Mayer, 19th. Rob Hermans at 20th. Josh Downard, 21st, and has got a lot of places to climb. Gerrit de Veers at 22nd, which is really surprising, as in the free practices he was putting on a lot of good consistent laps. The problem is maybe he just doesn't have the pace like the others, so hopefully he can climb. And last but definitely not least, at 23rd, Eric Stanford, who has a long way to climb today.
Yeah, but we shall see what he can do. Now, there's something we call the commentator's curse, and we don't want to curse anybody. But who's your favorite for the first race?
For the first race, I think it's going to have to be Princes. I think he's going to be able to climb up because he's got that consistency. Like I said, I was peeking on in, being a peeping Tom there in the free practices, watching everyone sort of go at it. And I think he's got the ability to climb. I think Jason Muscat is going to be climbing as well, maybe to about third or fourth. And then it's just going to be interesting to see the rest. Everyone's lining up on the grid, getting ready. The back of the pack following on through. And yeah, like we said earlier, we alluded to it. We actually even pointed it out. The first turn of this, the Nord Curve, is going to be absolutely killer here on Hockenheim. 3.69 kilometers of track. Lights beeping away, and lights out. Stefano's got a very good takeoff. Unfortunately, he's being hounded by the rest of the pack. Roy couldn't make it on pass, but that is very clean. I'm looking at the rest of the pack here now. Everyone making their way through. We did get a little bit of touching, but no one spinning out just yet. And I am massively surprised and pleased that no one has just absolutely been wiped out on turn one.
Looks very good. No, not much mistakes. Well, 3 wide in the back. Oh, the season is on the way. So, season 4 of the Meganes, and it's still Wesley Stefano leading. And then it's Roy Schouten in P2. And who is that in P3? Is that Aaron Jajowski? I believe so. And Jajowski in P3 with P4 for Nianjan Kumar. Muscat in P5 with P6.
That's a massive jump.
Yeah,
all the way up to 5.
Yeah, Pinch is now in 6. With 7th position for Penny. Good start from Penny with Roy Verzal in 8th. Dan Hutt in 9th. And I think the biggest loser of the start is Craig Patterson now in P10. But he is still around there.
Yep, still definitely contesting. Stefano not going to be able to get him massively just yet. He's got Roy and Erhan chasing behind him.
We've got a spinner. I think it's Stanford. Stanford in the back. Or is that Rekus?
It is Stanford. Eric Stanford, not really. It's just not his day as he's spun it out.
I'm not sure what
the Mercedes stadium.
But he wasn't the cause of it. He needed to go off track for another car. I think that was not Downard, but the other guy.
Oh, another one off track as well as Rink Hoekstra is all the way back to 22nd. This has not been a good day for them already, as they are starting to fall back even further behind the leaders.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like the first lap you'll take a lot of care, but then after a 1.5 lap or 2 laps, you are going to add some more speed, more risks, and then there it can go wrong. But for Racing Stefano,
Oh, just quickly there, down in 19th, 18th, 19th. There's a battle between Hermans and Fuller. Fuller making it on the outside, and oh, look at that. Garrett De Vries tried to make it on the outside as well, but going super wide. There's lost time to that, but I'm starting to see that the whole pack is really hungry for some good racing today, some good fights.
Yeah. But for now, at the lead, there's not much change. We still have got Wesley Stefano in front, and it looks like there's a bit of a gap, but don't forget that in this race we've got a pit stop, and let's see how everybody will do that pit stop. Of course, driving into the pits, driving out of the pits, that takes some skill as well, because you can lose a lot of
well, you're going too fast and you get a penalty. That can really just kill a race.
That's one of the things. The other thing I'm worried about is the tire wear. If you are going through the tires too fast, you will have people behind you, possibly that still have the tires alive, and if you can push them a bit longer, then you can have an advantage, potentially having an advantage.
Let's not forget about that grip as well. You could quite easily spin out. Just, some low wear tyres going onto those curbs. You wouldn't think it, but then suddenly just completely skid, and there you go. You've lost a top 10 position, which you do not want to do. Yeah,
true. So let's see. Wesley now with Stefano still on P1 with Roy Schouten in P2. Yeah, Roy Schouten, he is very good. I believe 2 times a runner-up of the series, and he wants the title now, so he knows he needs to start this season as good as he can. And then third position now for Arian Jajowski. Actually, not much change since the last time we went through it. With Narendra Kumar now P4, he's good. With Muscat 5, and Adam Pinch is just hanging on at P6, but can he go with the top 5 on pace? I think he can he just can. Well, you're
seeing that sort of front pack, the top 3, just pull away a little bit. And the big thing to take away from this is that Roy Schroven is slightly getting a bit of a catch-up onto Wesley Stefano. He is slowly, each lap, climbing it back by about 1/10. It doesn't sound like much, guys, at home, but you got to think 5 laps from now, he'll be making the move. Not even that long away. He is pulling back, though, on that first sector. Unfortunately, he is losing a little bit of time in this lap. Yeah.
Well, you know what I noticed, and we already have him a bit into the broadcast as well. We've got the top 6 that's now actually making a little bit of a jump. And then we've got Joshua Penny behind it. That's actually the leader of the second pack, with Roy Frizzell, Craig Patterson, and the rest behind it. But I fear we just see a little bit of a break of the first 6 and the rest. It's like the first 6 can do it, while we see Roy Frizzell running very wide. That was really well.
I was going to bring that up. Joshua Penny's leading like a third pack there, and he does have Roy, and both Roy and Craig Patterson going onto the sand there a little bit. They've got to be careful. Yeah. They're still ahead a little bit of Michael Gauka though.
Yeah, let's see who's the biggest loser then after a start. I think that's Jack Mayer. Also, Craig Patterson now up to 9, but I think he lost a few positions. Matthew Clip actually jumped up. I believe he was not qualified in 14th, but I think a few positions lower. So he's doing a pretty good job. But we're now on board with Mark Fuller. Yeah, Mark Fuller is feeling racy in P18, and you just can see Peter Jones in front of him. Peter Jones actually somebody with I believe 1 year of experience, but I expected more from him actually. I expected
Downard just ahead of them, nearly going into the side of Tristan Potters. So close to little accidents, and it's just because Downard is really, really hungry to get ahead, because that's so much space ahead of that to be able to get that, speed up, get that pace building.
Oh, there's Downard. Downard is next to him.
Move?
No, not yet.
Yep, unfortunately there. Let's go back to the front of the field. As we can see with Roy Schroten and Erhan Javoski Erhan, unfortunately, just going wide there. He's doing so much work to bring it within half a second. You can see he's still catching up.
Yeah.
Getting really close to the back of Roy's car.
And I'm now a bit surprised that it now looks that the top 4 is faster than numbers 5 and 6. Looks like Muscat and Pinches are not able to follow it for now, actually. So it looks like the top 4 is going a bit away with it. But yeah.
Maybe it's strategy. I'm just going to say it there. Maybe Jason is just thinking, okay, I'm going to do a longer first stint, and then the second I'm going to put out those fast times, because in the free practices he is putting out consistent 126s just every single lap, which is a valuable skill to near enough see, okay, I've got a strategy in mind where I just want to be able to pull out those 126s for, let's just say, 18 laps, and then those final 10 I am just going to absolutely go all to the wall and just near enough throw it out there. Nearly getting the hit in the back by Pincers though there. This is close between these two.
Yeah, it's very close between these two, but it's also very close between numbers 2, 3 and 4. Damn, they were close. Oh, and a jump from Jaworski!
Oh, well controlled to get that back onto the track.
That would have cost him a lot of yeah, it could have cost him the race, but he cashed it well.
And he's only lost one spot as well, so it's not the worst. That could have been such a disastrous situation, but there seems to be some sort of guardian angel watching over him.
That was yeah, the highest position I saw Malta Force in this season. We just started, but what a jump! Yeah, that's what we call, I believe, a sleeping policeman. And yeah, the anti-cut nearly caught him out, but he's still in it, so that's the good thing. And of course he lost one position, and maybe a bit of pace.
Here actually, you talk about Malta Force. And they've got 4th and 5th here. If this keeps up, if like we were able to close out the race with no movers at this point, they'd be taking the constructors' lead, which is, I think, the more important thing here for Muscat, because he's been putting on a good stride for that, hasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, and Muscat makes a mistake. No, not yet. Oh,
close,
this
side by
is
side
close.
He's got the speed though on the exit, and he's got the inside lane for the next turn. Going all around him.
This is
still
good.
holding on to it. Oh, Pincers makes the attack again though, and does have the inside. That's going to be massive as they go down into the mobile turn. Oh, this holds on. Oh, there's the tap. That's sent Pincers a little bit forward, and Muscat getting killed. Look at that. Penny is catched up now. We've got one big pack of 5 cars once again.
Yeah. But the top 4 now really gets away, and we're now on lap 7, so we're not even halfway, because I think we will have around 24 laps, maybe more, it depends. So I think the first pit stops will be around lap 12, we shall see.
Really? That early? So you think people are putting in a lot of tyre wear here at the start, and then they're going to try and manage their tyres afterwards?
Yeah, I think that the ideal thing is that you've got 40 minutes, that you do 20-20. You can't see people sometimes going longer, and otherwise people going early, but that's something we need to see. Also, it depends in what kind of gap you can get. If you are like doing very well and you pit early, you can have some traffic, and that's something you don't want. So I guess the front runners want to pit late, but not as late as possible, but not too early, because then they will have a problem with maybe people in like P10 or P12, and they are then allowed to fight with those cars because they didn't make the pit stop. Oh, well, we've got a back marker going off. I think that's Josh.
Oh, that's Jack again. Jack Mayer going right off, and Jaworski now lapping them. And well, you were talking about problems here. Jack is actually at the back of the pack now there, Menno, because unfortunately Gerrit de Vries and Eric Stanford have DNF. They couldn't go anymore. I think maybe a little bit too much damage for those two lads.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that they went out. Yeah, we're now having footage from them. It's actually a shame because I also hope that everybody will finish. So they're out. but they will be back for race 2, I'm sure. So we can't wait for that. So that means we only got 21 runners, but still, it's pretty good. And Royce Colton is getting closer and closer. He looks to be the more racy of the two. I think he knows how to drive this car, and I think he knows he can't pass Wesley, but he can pressure him. And yeah, if Wesley makes
force a mistake.
That's I think that's what you want. If you force a mistake, and if you can't force a mistake, just try to get as close, and in the end you will force a mistake, or you will force him wide somewhere. And yeah, that's the time Royce Colton wants to strike. And yeah.
Well, you say force him wide. No, Stefano has been cutting these turns. He's near enough trying to keep the inside. He doesn't want Roy to go on the inside and try and cut him up or cause any little mishaps, essentially. So he's playing this very defensively, which is a big problem for those two at front, because it means they're not going to have the pace that the lads in 3rd, 4th and 5th are going to have. And you can see Kumar there is actually also catching up on this. So the front of the pack might not stay the same that much longer. Who knows, by the end of this race it could all be jumbled.
Yeah, what I expect, well, not expect, but it could be a possibility, is that Kumar will pit earlier. That they will want to try to put Kumar on a different strategy, because if he can pit 1 lap earlier, he might jump them, numbers 1 and 2 in the pit. So that's something will be very interesting to see if that will happen. But I guess, yeah, it might be Kumar that's going to pit earlier, 1 lap earlier maybe, because you can't pit, of course, with 2 cars because there is no room. But Kumar is so close that they can try to, give him a pit stop a lap earlier. If he's then in full clean air, he possibly can drive a stunner of a lap, and that can, give the difference.
Well, it's what him and Schroeter ahead of him are going to be talking about. They're on the same team. Both racers underneath Racing Team Schroeter. Funny enough, they call it after himself, but they've got a strategy here, and of course they're holding it. Maybe Schroeter just plays that a little bit more riskier, trying to force an error like we said, and then Kumar can dive ahead. Does Schroeter go in first, or does Kumar? We'll have to see as it unfolds, because we're only 36% of this race complete. We're only on lap 10 here, guys, at home.
And we're now on board with Josh Downer through P50, but he is battling with Tristan Potters like his life depends on it.
Like crazy there.
Yeah. And we were talking with Tristan Potters earlier today, and I believe he made some changes to his setup. While he makes a mistake, and he gained some more feeling. Yeah, he's got the inside now. Oh, this will be difficult. We're now on board with Mantas. What can Mantas do? Yeah, Mantas. Yeah, he can get maybe past Tristan. Tristan is now on the outside. Mantas is going for attack. Can he do it? Can he brake later? He will try. Oh, but Tristan.
All connection, but it's not disastrous.
It's not disastrous, but Tristan looked like he turned in a bit. Oh, well, we've got who is this? This is Mark Fuller is in for the fun, and Peter Jones as well.
Closed up, yeah. It's good.
So this is a very good battle for P15. And the rest of the positions. Wow, yeah, this is also a thing. It's not the top 6, but this is an amazing battle, and you just see everybody lining up, trying different lines, getting more speed out of the car in certain corners to be as close as they can.
It's still a battle for the points. Remember, top 15 get points here. I'm going to do a little bit of a rundown for you guys at home. 20 points going to the first, 17, 15, 13, 11, 6 gets 10, and then just 1 point, going down up into 15th place, which gets 1 point. And 1 point can be the big difference here in a long season. And Tristan Potters, you can bet your last buck that he is going to be wanting to hold on to that 15th and maybe even try and push up to 14th, 13th. With good strategy is still possible, I feel. Yeah.
13th place is now for Matthew Klipp. But actually, I believe he really likes this car. Also on very late drafting. I believe 2 days before the event he was signed. But he's pretty good.
Really, really late breaking there and having to pull it around. Unfortunate from him. still off in a little bubble of his own though, so he's still safe. He only lost, I'd say, about half a second on that one.
Yeah. Well, we're now on board with Craig Pedersen from, I believe, Guernsey, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, as a commentator, you need to know those facts. And yeah, he's actually pushing very hard. Yeah, and he's chasing Joshua Penny, who's actually driving a really good race, and Roy Verzal in P7. Yeah.
I will say as well, because they've just passed Jack Mayer, who unfortunately hasn't had the best race so far, but has been so sporting, moving out the way for the cars to, you know, overlap. And oh, Penny's just gone into the pits. Do you believe that is our first to go in there? Penny going in from Ape, so this is definitely strategy starting to unfold.
Yeah, I think he has got a feeling the best of the tires are gone, and yeah, he was close to Verzal, so he hopes to jump it, and it will be very interesting while he keep the camera on him if he can get out of close without any form of traffic. Well, we've got another driver into the
Matthew
pits.
Clip going in as well, so that's the first two. Still so far ahead of Jack Mayer though, who now is just basically going on a Sunday drive. He's just doing this for fun. It's got to be back here.
Yeah, I think
this pit is a long one though, we'll say.
Yeah, it's a long one because you need to change tires and fuel, and you can do, I believe, both in the same time. So that's the thing. But everybody will have I think a slow pit, so for everybody it should be more or less the same.
Should be, and that's what we're saying. The biggest factor is you coming in and out of the pit lane, because you have to do that all manually. 37 miles per hour is the speed you've got to drive through at.
That is,
coming from that last corner where you're probably going at about, what, 70 to 80?
Yeah.
That's a big drop. And remember, you're accelerating sort of into the lane, and then it's that last second brake, because you want to cut it as thin to the line as you can to get down to 37.
That's true. Yeah, that's 37 miles. It will be around 60 kilometers, I believe, in the pit. So it's not that slow, but it's also not that fast, of course. Well, we still have
Jason Muscat and Craig Pedersen just going into the pits now. Some of the front runners finally making the judgment call here at halfway in the race. It looks like most of these drivers are going to be going for the 50-50. Some maybe even going for the quicker second stint. We'll have to see. There you go. Peter Jones going in as well. Tristan Potters. Oh, where is this all going to come out?
Yeah.
And I love a good pit lane exit fight.
And it makes me wonder, the one that just went in, who was that? I believe it was not Jack Mayer. The one, Clip and Penny were the first pitters. Let's see what they can do. Can they possibly get a lot of position? I think so. Look at this. This is Penny against Pedersen. He will get him. He will get him.
He's
or
closed
not.
it out. He's basically here gained about 2 seconds if he's able to complete the maneuver. Yes, he has climbed past Pedersen. Muscat only a little bit ahead, nonetheless. Only 3 seconds ahead. So Penny's maneuver, fantastic.
Actually, it was a very good stop if you look at it like this. Yeah, so interesting. Well, we see.
Oh, Penny's got pressure though.
Yeah,
keep it on Penny as Pedersen's trying to take him around the outside. Penny pushing him as wide as he dares, cuts ahead. Bold maneuver.
Yeah. Well, we've got Schoten in.
Roy, the other Roy anyway, going in as well. Michael Gelka in as well. So, even more. Downard going in with Dane Hunt behind him, and so you're going to see drivers like Mark Fuller just trying to jump that little bit ahead. We'll get an interest in here in the Hockenheim ring. Front runners, I'm surprised that Stefano is still going on those tyres. The amount of work he must have been putting in. Like we said earlier though, he was trying to slow up the drivers behind him, and he was playing like a weird game of trying to bait in his opponents here, Menno, where he was going for a slow lap and then suddenly he pull out a 125.
But look at Verzal. Verzal will lose the position to Penny, but will he also lose it to Pedersen? Will he? Yeah, Pedersen is trying to look. Oh, good defending from Roy. Out of the pits. Can he do it? Oh,
wheel to wheel.
Oh.
That's forced off the track.
Yeah, that's a bit forced off the track. But yeah, I think
Leave it up to the directors to have a little look at that later.
But that was
that could just be a racing accident, really.
Yeah, it could be a racing accident. I think Roy is just out of pits, cold tires, so you expect him to give him Pedersen a challenge, but then in the end it went a bit unfortunate. I think it might be cold tires, a bit understeery into Pedersen. I think this was not intentional. I know Roy a bit, and this is just unfortunate, and I think. After the race end, they will talk about this and say this is also what happens in racing, and sometimes you're a bit unlucky.
Holy molies! Mark Fuller still on that first set of tyres, still from the start, is now up into third. He's got to try and make as much space as he can. Look, he's got no one in front of him. Of course, the front runners, Adam Pinces and Miguel Masinho.
Yes, but you notice something. Schoten is ahead of Wesley Stefano after the pit stop. So Schoten is now, I think, virtual in P1 and Wesley Stefano in P2. So earlier
that's a massive lead as well. Look at that. And
while Niranjan Kumar couldn't jump Wesley Stefano, Roy Schoten could. So he did something really good there to jump ahead of Wesley Stefano. Of course, we still have a lot of people to pits, but
not just a jump. Roy has got about 3 seconds ahead, so that's not a jump, that is a leap, that is a lunge ahead. And of course now he's got to hold it up. Stefano will be looking to really put on the pace.
Well, we've got Pinches
super close there.
Pinches in the race leader, and will he still be in P1?
He was 13 seconds ahead of the driver in second.
And who's in as well? Machino is in, and Fuller is going on. Of course, Fuller is leading the race with, I believe, is it Rob Hermans now in P2? Yes, it is in P2. So because they go longer, they go for the minute of fame, and actually, I think they're right. With Mantas Rekus now in the pits, I think as well. So interesting.
I'm looking at these pit stops. They're roughly about, I would say, 30 odd seconds, 35 seconds in total, somewhere between that area. It's hard to tell when we don't actually have that stat, guys.
No.
But if you're looking at it now, if Mark Fuller was to go pit, he would end up roughly about 13th, 14th. So he's playing a very bold move here by going on for that longest stint, because of course, like you said, that tyre wear, he's got to be losing the pace.
Yeah, that's very true. So that you need to find a balance in that. And something else I saw, what's happened to Jason Muscat? Because Jason Muscat is now behind Patterson and Penny, and he was ahead before the stop, I thought. So, problem for Jason Muscat, at least in this race. It's not his race.
Well, this is what we were saying earlier. Penny made a brilliant maneuver, getting that 3 seconds over Muscat, and seems to be carrying it. And forward he goes with some great racing from him.
Yeah, it's all depends on strategy. I actually talked with some of the drivers, and I thought it would have been beneficial to pit as late as possible, but sometimes it's very good to pit earlier. And it looked like pitting earlier, at least in this circuit, is the thing. We actually see gaining time for people. But we still have numbers 1 and 2, Rob Hermans and Mark Fuller. Mark Fuller is a long time driver here in WCS, and Rob Hermans is actually new, and of course we really like new guys, and we should give Rob Hermans also a minute of fame, because he's doing pretty well. Of course he needs to make a stop and he will fall down the order, but he's not doing bad. He's actually doing a decent job.
Well within the points, which is good for a first race, ain't it?
I think if he can get points, that would be very good. Let's see what will happen. Of course, in the end, when they pit, they will get a lot new, better tires than the rest that already pit a lap or 5 ago. So interesting. Let's stay on board with Rob Hermans, because I think Fuller and Rob Hermans will go pit pretty soon. Let's see if it will be this lap.
This is going to be a game of baiting as well between these two, because they're in their own little fight. Who dares pits first? They're both... Oh! Big cut in there from Hermans at the last second. He's going to dare it.
He needs to. Ooh. he knows he needs to do it eventually, and yeah, I think this is the right way, because Mark Fuller will have another lap. The best of the tires, the best will be off. So this is with the fight with Fuller, I think this is the right call to go first if you're in the hunt.
All the way back down to 8th now, and Hermans will keep dropping as the rest of the pack pass them. They didn't pit that late, so should hopefully some better tyres. Get the faster time into the better stint, but who knows, Herman could just absolutely lay down the rubber and put on some blistering times. He's all the way down to 14th now, down to 15th. There's the rest of the pack. It seems to have hurt him. We thought he would come out about 13th, 14th, but no, really losing that time, and all the way down to 17th he goes. There's Potters. We could have a little battle between him and Hermans right now as they're coming on to the second turn. Herman's holding on to that inside line, and I can't blame him, but Potter's got the pace, he's got the exits. They go into turn number 3.
What you can see here is, yeah, just out of the pits, you've got problems with tires, like with the tire heat, and it will take you at least, I think, half a lap to a lap to get them out of temperature, just to have them on working temperature. That's why Tristan could pass him. So yeah, Rob Hermans now falls back to P18. So I guess Mark Fuller will be around there as well, unless he will have a very, very good pit stop. But I think it will be more or less the same.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to be down to that, you know, poor second turn there from Rob. He just couldn't do it on the cold tyres, like I said. So it's going to seem like a battle between Tristan, Rob, and Mark. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting one to see in a little bit.
Yeah. Can you tell me how many minutes we still have left in this race? You should find it somewhere in the game.
Somewhere in the game. I can see that we're 72% in.
Yeah,
remember, I'm new to our factor as well.
That's the distance, but we also have a clock somewhere which would say so many minutes, because I think we are about to have 5 minutes to go. Maybe I can see it somewhere.
I'm looking.
Let's see. No, I cannot find it.
I can't see the time. I can see we're, you know, about currently trying to cut in on like a driver or two.
Yeah, I think it might be visible on race view as well, but I think we're about on to be on 5 minutes to go, or somewhere maybe a little bit more. But yeah, getting on the race now, it's Roy Skelton now that leads, of course. Making a jump after the pit stop. It's Wesley Stefano still in a very good P2, and Nerjan Kuma now in P3, and Aaron Jajowski is challenging now for the third position, but he still is in P4. Then P5 is now for Adam Pinches, who is not as fast as the top 4, but yeah, 5th position will still be pretty good, with Roy Verzal now in P6, with 7th position now for Joshua Penny, with Craig Patterson really pushing him for P8, and P9 now for Jason Muscat. Jason Muscat, yeah, I expected a bit more for Jason Muscat, but yeah, like I said last year, if you're going to count on Jason Muscat, yeah, you're stupid, because he always strikes back when you least expected it. So he's now in P9, actually challenged by the 10th car of who's that? Let's see, Galka. So interesting.
Did well to regain that as well. You saw he's shaking a bit, snaking about.
Yeah, and the 10th position actually what you want to have as well, because 10th position would mean 6 championship points and a reverse grid. So Michael Galka would be really happy to get P10, and his team CM Tech will be very happy if he can get the reverse grid pole. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it looks.
Maybe that's a driver strategy in itself. Try and fight for the 9th and 10th position here in the endurance race for the sprint, which should be a little bit easier, I'm going to say, to get that sort of like to maintain the lead there in the second race. So that's maybe what Jason is doing here, is they're like, I'm not happy with 7th or 8th, let's fall back a bit and get that 9th/10th to maybe try and lead.
Yeah, of course, but that will cost championship points as well. So I guess there's nothing more in it, and I think he now is trying the maximum what's in it. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that in between races he can find something and for race 2 he can maybe perform better, because in the beginning of the season, I would say, beginning of the race, he was pretty quick, but it looks like I think there was maybe an error of him driving. So 11th position. Who's now in 11th is Dan Hutt, who actually is driving a quiet race, but still very good. Dan Hutt in 11th, with Miguel Michino in P12. It's now, who's in P13? Josh Downard, good race from Downard. In P14 now for Peter Jones. Yeah, just jumped up after the start, and now in points position with Matthew Clip in P15, last position. And now we've got a great battle between P16, 17 and 18, which is Fuller, Hermans and Potters.
I think I just saw Mantis just, DNF out. Unfortunate there. I don't know what was going on, because he seemed to just leave us on the track. But let's quickly go back to, like you said, Potters, Fuller and Hermans, who are locked up in a battle, a trio, a Mexican standoff between these three.
Yeah, or a German standoff in this case, but it looks very close. Also from these guys, we always, when we are on board, we also always get the one that's driving the last, so we can see the two cars in front battle. But I see a bit mistake from, is that Potters? I mean, is that Clip running wide there, or is that somebody else?
No, Potters is out front, Fuller in the middle, and then of course
there's a big battle between 14 and 15 as well, and now that number 16, 17 and 18 are actually getting very close to that, so this will be a 5-car train for 2 championship points positions, so it will be very interesting.
I remember Potters was up in 14th earlier and had to drop down, so unfortunate that he did drop, of course. Oh, quickly go up to 6th, Joshua Penny getting overtaken by Patterson. Penny out on the outside. He's going to look to hold this into the inside 4.
Oh, yeah.
That's risky, that's bold. Mercedes stand. Patterson does have the inside for this one, driving him out very wide. Penny has to brake and cut in afterwards. Woo.
And back to the lead.
Jack Mayer going in for a pit. The last one, and I think now he's just probably getting ready for the next race. He's just trying to figure out his lines even more, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, what happened to Aaron Yadowski? What's happened to Aaron Yadowski?
I'm trying to look for him now. Where is he? He's all the way back at 8th. What has happened there? He must have just gone wide for the track and had to re-emerge.
Is it the anti-cut again?
Yeah. That's worrying, as now he's mixed in between Joshua Penny and Jason Muscat. Muscat, of course, a little bit further back, but Penny, you got to be careful there, buddy. You have got a lion behind you.
Yeah, well, 2 lions. Maltese lion and a Macedonian one. So, interesting. So I think that, it would have been a driver mistake from Aaron Jajewski. But wow, I think 2 of the championship favorites.
Oh, that's a bit touching. Person getting hit out wide. Penny keeps under control. Nothing lost there. We'll put that down to a racing accident for now, but a little bit of a misjudgment in braking zone, as these 3 are now near a bumper to bumper.
Yeah, I know Penny, like, he really wants to overtake, but I think he just overcooked him, and luckily no hard damage, and then this is great racing, but it nearly went wrong.
Well, during all of that, you've got Muscat just sitting there in 9th, who's gained about 1.5 seconds from all that little mistake. So he's got to be loving this ahead. Maybe Javosky is trying to play the strings a little, try and make his opponents ahead of him make these mistakes, or it's just Penny getting a little bit too bold.
Yeah, that's very true. So if it finishes like this, I think performance racing will lead the constructors, and that's a big surprise, because everybody thought it would have been Malta Force, but doesn't look like that yet. So.
Well, I'm having a little look now. I think it's actually going to be Racing Team Schroten.
Oh, it's actually
Schroten's in first and Kumar's in 3rd.
Yeah, that's true.
Some good points to
That's
them.
true as well. Why did I forget them? Because in my mind I was still with Wesley, I think, leading. So of course, the Racing Team Schroten will of course get good points as well with first.
Go back to Joshua Penny and Oh, Jaworski trying to get past, but couldn't. Cooks it too much. Goes out wide, so loses the maneuver. But I've got to say, we probably should stick on these three for the rest of the race as they... Oh, Penny going just nearly there. Next turn might just be his. We'll have to see. They've got to be so careful on that turn, don't they, there, Menno?
Yeah.
Where if you just go that little bit wide, you're into the gravel, into the sand, and that can lose you so many positions.
That's very true, and I must say, Joshua Penny is driving a monster of a race. Obviously, another mistake from Jajowski. Jajowski, what are you doing? Jajowski has so much potential, so much talent, but for
Muscat's
now,
caught up.
Yeah, for now it looks like he's out of his comfort zone, and Muscat, yeah, caught up. And I'm going to say that I'm pretty sure that I know that Muscat will overtake, unless, yeah.
Well, they're on the same team, so that's just, you know, strategy, really. That's what you can chalk it down to. But we knew this from Jaworski, where essentially he's a fantastic driver, but I think he's trying to do too much, essentially. So he's making more mistakes, and that is what's costing him a lot of these positions. He's just got to near enough get that mentality set right, doesn't he?
Yeah, he won a lot of races last season, and yeah, I think for now he might want a bit too much. Yeah, of course you want to stay in the hunt of the championship, and you want to get as much points as you can at the beginning. But yeah, you even have races where everything not going according to plan, and yeah, that's the thing. What happens now, actually?
Still trying to keep my eyes. This person is finding a little bit of a gap.
Yeah.
He's now got it to about 6/10.
And I believe we're more or less on the last lap now.
We are indeed. We're coming down to the last lap, and well, still hotting up. Going back to the front though, Roy Schroen has just really got a lead. 1.7 seconds ahead. Pretty much the top three are set in stone unless there's a big mishap. Big gap then, 2 pinches. Adam just couldn't catch up. Virgil. Yeah. Again, still in fifth. Patterson, Penny, and Jaworski. Oh, back a bit. And actually, Jaworski trying it. He knows how much this last lap is going to mean to him. We are going on to the last one because, like you said, it is a little bit timed. And Roy Schroen is going to be coming up.
Jajowski and Penny still next to each other, but Jajowski is ahead, but not ahead of the corner because the next corner will be onto the right. Will this be Penny if he brakes on a good position? Yeah, it's still
ahead. Touched.
Yeah, but that's touring car touch, so that's nothing spectacular. That's what we saw with Patterson as well. That's something that just happens if it doesn't cost your race and not throw you really off balance. Then yeah, it's more or less allowed. Of course, you don't want people to crash.
The big difference being, if this was open wheelers, if this was a GP race, that would have been a spin out there. Touring cars, they have a little bit more stability to them. They're a little bit more sturdier.
Yeah, very true. And what should we say? I think we're now on the last lap, and it was an eventful first race, and we're still not sure who's going to get P7. Because
I'm just confused a little bit here because it does say 100% done in 27 out of 28 laps. I'm not too sure what this whole art factor malarkey, but
this is the last lap. This is really the last lap. So I think the time is now more or less done as well. I think will be it, and then we need to do one.
Look at that defense. Jaworski trying to get it on past. He's got the outside.
Look at
He should have the speed. Muscat getting close and cut out by his teammate Penny. Now on the inside. Look at that defense cutting them out, trying to make sure that if anyone's going to get the lead, it's going to be Penny.
Oh, look at Jajowski.
No. Doesn't want to spin out. Oh, big mistake from Penny. He's gone out super wide, and so Jaworski does get on the inside. Penny trying to hold it. I decide, look at Muscat there. He's trying to lunge ahead, trying to make the most. Maybe Jaworski is trying to force this. Oh, the big spin out, and Jaworski. Oh no, he wanted too much. Muscat will go up into 8th, and Jaworski, regaining control of his car, is going to be lucky that the gap behind is so large as he's up to speed.
We have a winner. We missed it more or less. Roy Scoton wins race 1. So Very good from Royce Colton. He wants that title, which he missed the last 2 seasons. Wesley Stefano from pole got P2. I think he will still be happy. Of course, wanted to win, but P2 is a very good start. P3 will be for Nyanjan Kumar, who showed pace the whole race as well. Adam Pinches in P4. I think he will be happy with P4. Of course, wanted it to be better. I think his biggest disappointment will be that he was around 14 seconds behind the winner, but I think he can work on that. With P5 from Roy Verzal. Verzal really did adult grown-up race. Like, was not as good in the beginning, but did a good race. Didn't make any mistake. Got P5, and yeah, that will mean that performance racing will be in the second position in the constructors, with of course the first position will be for Racing Team Scotland. Then sixth position, that's for Craig Patterson in the second Adonis Engineering. So really good from him after a pretty awful start. It's done P7 for Joshua Penny with Jason Muscat and Aaron Jajowski only in P8 and P9. That's something I didn't see coming. So very interesting.
You got to think, earlier on in the race, they were holding, I think it was third and fifth between them, and then just that downfall. A couple of mistakes coming out from Jaworski. And Muscat, he had a pretty solid race. He just didn't have the speed of those ahead of him, did they?
Yeah. But I think in race 2, we shall see Mata first getting back on it. But we now have P10 for Mikael Galka. So Mikael Galka on pole and got 6 points for the 10th position, so well done Mikael Galka. And P11 for our new guy Mikael Machino for the Rookie Monsters. So Rookie Monsters is on the constructors board with Dan Hutt in P12 for the new team Arctic Legends. Rush Downward for TC Off Racing, also a new team, with Peter Jones in P14, and the last scoring points position is for Mark Fuller. So that long driving before the pit stop, which he did late, it just gave him 1 position. So what can we say? Potters and Clip lost out on the points position, and they were in it just before. So I think Mark Fuller will be the happiest guy, because he's got the last point position. But for Clip, Potters, Hermans, Hoekstra, Meyer, Rikus, De Vries and Stanford, no points. But yeah, I think a few were pretty close. So we shall see what race 2 will bring. So, race 1, that was your first Air Factor race we broadcasted. So, before we going into a more or less 10 minutes break, what were your thoughts? It was quite amazing, right?
Yeah, really enjoyed that. Just shuffling here, the skill of these drivers, something else. Definitely couldn't count anyone out. Remember, we had some of those drivers that were a little bit more further back. Craig Patterson, getting right up in there. Joshua Penny, a fantastic drive from him. Super solid, knowing his challenges, knowing his fights, and coming out on top. But just give it up to Roy Schroeder, just being able to claim first spot and taking it away from Wesley Stefano, who did qualify on pole, but unfortunately will have to settle for second there in the endurance race.
Yeah, the endurance race, the big race. I really like the term you're using, the endurance race. Actually, it's an endurance race for 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a long race, and now we're going to the actually what we call the sprint race of 20 minutes. And with the top 10 reversed, and having both Malta forces in starting from P2 and P3, I think we can possibly see Malta Force getting a really good race too. It all depends on mistakes, and if they don't make mistakes, and how the faster guys of race 1, how they will go through the field if they can. So it will be interesting. So
with the Malta forces there from second and third, so on first line and second, I'm hoping so much that they're going to pull off a strategy here to, of course, force their way into the top 2, because I'm not going to lie, turn 1 in that endurance race there, it was a little bit dull. There was no crashes. What on earth is this? This isn't racing, is it now?
Now, you normally would say in the beginning of the season there will be some close racing, maybe even some crashes at turn 1. But it was like everybody said to each other, like, yeah, we just give each other much room.
Nice
And
clean race. That's
yeah,
it. No crashing.
it was more like lap 2. Oh, now we're going to get up the pace. We're safely through the first corner. Let's get better now and get more risk from lap 2. But now I already have, I believe, 3 people for the mid-race interviews. So let's get one in. And you can do your first ever Airfactor 2 interview. So yeah, well, you've got, I believe, rights to drag somebody in.
Yeah,
so,
I can drag them in. And
so
I think
go
the
ahead.
first person we're going to be dragging on in is, of course, the race winner, Roy Schroten.
Niks mijn kamer.
Oh, we cut Roy straight out of the conversation. Tough luck there, buddy. How are you feeling here? Coming out with the first win of the season. Great race from you, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. This can't really feel better. I was just talking to my colleagues there, but yeah, it feels very good to win a race here. The first race of the season, so it's a good one to win. Last season I didn't win too much, especially in the ending of the season. So I'm happy to be back in my winning mood again here in the Megane.
Well, from one Roy to another, let's go over to Roy Virgie.
How?
You fighting through the pack there, dude. Just what are your thoughts when you got those cars just near enough right up to your wheel? How did you just navigate your way through those corners so well?
Well, it was not that well, I have to say, because I was struggling with a lot of understeer when the tires gave up on the left front. But well, yeah, the overtakes were pretty good. I had a lot of battles with Greg and with Penny, Joshua Penny. Yeah, had some great battles with them, and yeah, it was pretty fun. And my pace was a little bit better, but in the beginning, I made a lot of mistakes. And I was using traction control off, but that didn't help me a lot in the race. I mean, in the first stint, my tires were really overheating, and after I switched on traction control, it became better. And I was closing in again on Greg and on Joshua. And yeah, after the before the pit stops, I managed to overtake them both, which were pretty good moves. And after the pit stops, I was behind them again. They managed to do an undercut, and that worked out pretty well for them. So I had to do the moves again. But meanwhile, I jumped the Jason. And yeah, well, I think he was struggling with some problems or something. His pace was really unusual.
Yeah, definitely. How do you actually deal with drivers that are, let's say, unpredictable? Because I noticed that at the start as well there from you, Schroeder, where you had, of course, Messino, what am I saying, Messino, being a dummy here, Stefano, sorry, who was sort of pulling off really fast laps and then would slow down near enough and then pull off another fast lap and then slow down too. It just felt really weird. It must have been definitely from second position.
How do you mean exactly?
I was talking to Schroeder, not you.
Oh,
different
sorry.
Roy.
Sorry, I was sleeping. I heard something with Wesley.
What I was saying there was, how do you deal with an opponent that's sort of like mixing up their pacing by, like, say, 2 seconds each lap? Where I was noticing there that Wesley was throwing off, say, a 126 of a lap and then just throwing it back down to about a 127, and then we go up to a 125, just near enough their speed being all over the place. How do you deal with that? Because the start of it was very clean from you guys.
Yeah, in the start I could manage to follow Wesley quite well, and we seemed to have the same pace, but in the second stint Wesley seemed to be fast at certain moments. I'm not sure why exactly. I just didn't try to look at the gap too much, but yeah, you pretty much do every lap. But yeah, I just try to concentrate on my own driving and keeping the tires fresh. Like the other Roy said, it is it's very much a challenge here to keep the tires healthy in the end. And then I thought that his tires had dropped off in the last 2 laps, and then mine started to drop off as well, and then he started to gain back some pace, so I was quite happy that it was the last lap.
Yeah. I got something to ask you about that as well. Hello, Roy. Roy, yes, I mean, and the rest. Because you saw you making, I believe, the earlier stop to Wesley, and yeah, I think in the end that was the difference between you and Wesley, like just to have an earlier stop to get the pushing laps in between him stopping and you stopping. Was that the only reason? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my pit stop was a little bit short. I don't know, because the gap was quite big for just the one lap. But yeah, the fresh tires certainly worked. I didn't make a mistake on that out lap, and that certainly got me the gap that I needed.
Yeah. Well, good. So yeah, Roy and Roy, let's at least let you prepare for race 2. Then we've got one other guy to interview.
User disconnected from your
and
channel.
that's of course is Dan Hutt, who's waiting a long time for an interview. So Corey, go ahead and ask one of our youngest sim racers how his race was.
So yeah, Dan, how do you do that? Like, deal with the difference in experience here on the track? Do you just try and not let it get to you? How, like, do you have any like mindsets, any practices that you do to near enough get into the zone essentially whilst you're racing?
Of course, when I'm practicing, I'm trying different lines to gain an advantage to everybody else, because they have a lot more of experience to me. But yeah, it's sometimes it's tough when you're younger. You need to learn much, you know, to to keep up the pace. But today it's gone well. P12 in the points again. So I'm happy with that. It's good for the team. And I had a great battle with Majul. He was a bit faster than me at the end, because the tire management was very hard. At the beginning of the stint it gone well, but at the end they were just wearing a lot. Left front was just gone, and the rear tires were heating up, so it was very hard today, but still a good race.
So the second race we got coming up, the sprint, where it's basically only one set of tires, are you going to be thinking a lot more about your tires there? Because of course a pit stop could lose you the entire race, couldn't it?
Yeah, of course, only when it rains a pit stop is necessary, but that doesn't happen. So no, it's just a bit tire management that you've got to do at the end. I think at the last 5 laps it's wearing a lot, so that's the only moment I really look at my tires, but otherwise I'm just gonna race like everybody else does.
Right, we're going to let you go off and race then, buddy, because we're just finishing up this warm-up stage, so you've got to go get ready in the driver's seat and, of course, get that formation lap set up for the sprint. So, thank you for the interview.
Okay, bye.
Menno, then, do you think, because we just spoke to Dan there, do you think he can climb a little bit higher? Because, of course, starting in, was it 12th or 13th there? Yeah. Do you think he's going to be able to get into the bigger boy points?
Difficult, I think, unless somebody really makes a mistake. I think 10, 11, 12 is more or less what he's getting, unless he's really lucky and there will be some problems at turn 1 now, so...
Well, the problem there for him is that the stronger racers, of course, like I said, with that reverse of the top 10 grid, so the stronger racers are essentially ahead of him still. He's got just ahead, and the problem is because they are stronger, they're going to be pushing ahead. And what do you think his sort of game is going to be? Because unfortunately I didn't get to ask him, because we got to let them go off and race, you know, we're just a couple of minutes away. What do you think his game plan is? Maybe try and just play the long game, try and manage those tires and keep consistent, say 126s, or do you think he's going to push early?
I think he's going to push early. Are we actually now going to the
just getting onto the pitch.
Was moved
the pitch, what was saying, the track. A little countdown to the race, so 50 seconds until they'll get started on the formation lap. Yeah. I'm wondering here, do you think we're going to get any of the lads that, you know, because of the reverse grid, any of the lads that are starting off here in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th sort of positions on the grid, do you think they're going to be able to reach up to the top 3 to pole? Or do you think Muscat is going to be able to hold off on that?
I think it potentially will be very good race for Malta Force. That's because they had a bad race 1. I think with the starting position they could have a good race 2, but it all depends. It all depends what the rest will do. What can Wesley, what can Roy, what can Ryan, what can they do from 10, 9, and 8? If they can get through a few positions in the field and like be in P5 at the end of lap 1, then I give them chance for another podium position. But otherwise, I think one of the guys will check out.
Just noticed there as well, I don't know why, but Michael Gauker and Javoski weren't there at the front. They're just coming out of the pits now. What's gone on there, do you think?
I'm not sure, but they missed the start of the race. Not sure what happened there, so they need to start from the pits. So Jajovski, yeah, this is very costly for Jajovski. This is actually, this is very stupid. This was front row start, or more or less.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, and now they thrown it away. And actually, I believe, yes, the numbers 1 and the numbers 2 are not on time for the race for start of race 2.
How do you throw away an opportunity like that?
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
this is actually very stupid. So yeah, now it's Muscat from Penny. So yeah, this is really something.
I'm actually quite excited for this one as well, because Penny onto that front row. We saw the race he had last time around in the fighting. Him still surrounded by Muscat and Patterson. I'm pretty darn excited for this one, because that is going to be one heck of a start to a race, I think, as they have got that fight already there left over from the last race, and they're going to probably pull that into this second one, I reckon.
Let's do the start of the grid. Should we take them to it? So it's now it will be Muscat for Penny. Then it's in P3. It will be Patterson with Verzal P4. Pinches P5 with P6 for Kumar, with P7 for Stefano, P8 for Schoten, P9 will be for Muschino, with P10 from Hut, 11 from Downert, 12 from Jones, 13 from Fuller, and we've got Clip on 14, P15 for Potters, P16 for Hermans, P17 for Hoekstra, and P18 for Mayer, with Galka and Jajowski starting from the pits. Interesting. So yeah, this is really strange, because we missed the whole front row, and we're going to see who's going to be having the best start. 1 light, 2 lights.
Still not even out. He's not even onto the line. This is definitely disastrous for him, as the lights are lighting up, and there we have it. Off we go. Muscat and Penny both getting a very good start. Muscat maybe just with the edged advantage. They go into turn number 1, still very clean and trying to look through the grid. Everyone's still making it through there. We only have 1 car going off wide. That was Machino, but everyone's still very tightly packed going into turn number 2. There's the turn. Penny going off wide. Oh, back into line. Great braking. Otherwise, that would have been disastrous for the whole grid.
Well, so we've got Muscat leading, and what a gap he already is having. So it's Muscat. Then it will be the Adonis of which driver? It will be Patterson with Adam Pinches P3 with P4. Who's in P4? It's already Roy Schoten with Kumar P5. It's Fazal P6, Stefano P7. So the 2 Racing Team Schoten's cars are really good off the line. It's P8 for Joshua Downert, P9 for it's Dan Hut. Yeah, could he move up the line? We said, yeah, it will be difficult if there were no problems, but there are enough problems at the start of race 2. So he's now in P9.
Well, yeah, 2 drivers from the front line out straight away, and then the big movement. You were saying there about Royce Roten just getting up there. He's now been overtaken by Pincers. Just look ahead of that. Muscat getting overtaken by Pincers as well, who's got the inside, and lots of contact between the 2.
Look at that. Look at that.
Trying it.
Roy already in P3, he's got pace, and look at Muscat, he just eaten. Did he make a mistake again? Because he had such a lead half a lap ago.
I don't know, maybe a little bit of skid, like we said. Tyre's not incredibly warm just yet. That's a big lunge on the inside.
Oh, but Muscat still. Oh, this is so close. Muscat still in P3. So it will be the 1 and 2 for Adonis. Now it's P3 from Muscat. Go on board. We've got Royce Colton now in P4, and he is hunting that prey that is called Muscat. In P5 now. This is Roy Verzell already in P5. In P6 now for Wesley. Just following. P7 for a very good starter just down it. And look at this. Oh,
getting the inside of Downard.
Yeah, Kumar.
Downard forced out so wide there, and Kumar will get the spot.
Oh, look at Machino! Look at Machino! Or is it? It's down? No, it's Peter Jones actually. Look at Peter Jones. A cutback. Yeah, and he's trying. Oh!
That's the spin-off little concept.
No! Oh,
Holds it.
He holds it. That's what you call a nice drift. That's called also a lot of skill. Yeah, that is a lot of skill. Dan Hutt still in between it. Let's go on board with Mark Fuller in P30. Yeah, this is crazy stuff. Everybody thinks, yes, time for, yeah, we've been nice in race 1. Now let's go a bit more onto it in race 2. So leading, yeah, it's Craig Pedersen, but I think he's not the fastest on the track, because the fastest on the track is his teammate Adam Pinches. And now
that's it. Both of the Adonis drivers just leading the pack. And
look at that! Look at behind it!
Behind.
Oh, look at behind it! Still Muscat. Yeah, Muscat. I said it. You should never count him out. He can fight as a lion, as a Maltese lion. And look at this. He's fighting with Schouten, with Verzell. Look at this. Look at this. Well, we see a battle between the Adonises. I believe we now have Adam Pinches leading. Yes, and this is also teamwork.
But just behind them,
look at Verzell. Look at Verzell. We're now on board with this Stefano, but look at Roy Verzell. An inspired move. He tries everything. Yeah, Verzell is really hungry to pass Roy Schouten. I can explain that. There was a kart meeting about 2 weeks ago, and yeah, Roy Schouten did beat Roy Verzell, and Roy Verzell was not happy about it, so he wants to have revenge and pass Roy Schouten on track, and he nearly did so. And yeah, looking at both the cars from Adonis Engineering, is actually very good that Malta Force driver Jason Muscat is actually holding the rest up, because I think Schouten and Verzell are faster than Muscat, but Muscat is, yeah, is not easy to pass. We know that, unless he's making a mistake.
Well, that's it, exactly. Adam Pinces and Craig Pedersen have got to be thanking their lucky stars here that they're not involved in that battle behind them. Muscat is near enough giving them a gap there, and you can see this defending from him. He is given enough space, and so well done. But that big pack is almost...
Yeah. We're now on board with Naranjan Kumar. We can see 4 cars battling in front of it. Both of the performance guys and Muscat and Schouten there.
That's a lunge on the outside.
A hit from Stefano on Schouten. Stefano hit Schouten. Oh, this is, of course, pretty bad from Stefano. I'm not sure what happened there, if there was enough room or not. That was unfortunate. And how much did it cost from Schouten? Where is he?
Down to 17.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is, I think, screaming Roy Schouten. Because, yeah, he was leading the championship. And actually, he's, I believe, being crashed up by, was it Stefano or was it?
It was Stefano, I think.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because Stefano is now up to 4th. Muscat has got a new rival sort of like breathing down the back of his neck.
Yeah, this is also interesting, of course. So the number 2 of race 1 hits the number 1 of race 1, and I don't want to blame anybody, because yeah, if it's a mistake from Wesley Stefano, and if he will get a penalty, we will see that later. Of course.
Oh, Sherrington going into Potters as well there, and Potters spun out all the way back at 18th. That is unfortunate from him. Looks like Roy Schroten is maybe a little bit riled up after that one.
Oh yeah, this is an unfortunate incident with Potters actually, but he's still driving, but yeah, out of the points. So after 5 laps already, it's Adam Pinches now for Craig Pedersen, and I didn't expect both of the Adonis cars to do as well as they did. And no, it's still it's Jason Muscat in P3. And can you tell me, where is Adrian Janjowski in all of this?
Janjowski?
Yeah.
I'm looking for him now. Down in 10th, because memory did have that problem earlier, where he went out very wide.
Yeah, but
still within decent points.
Yeah, still in decent points from the pits. So yeah, if he just would have started in a good starting position, I think he would have been around as well. So yeah, but he still is in course for some points.
All right, let's have a little look at the battle of course between 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Muscat, Stefano, and Virgil.
And of course number 6 with Kumar. So yeah, you see a lot of new drivers, of course, because you didn't know them before today. Which driver are you? Yeah, it sounds stupid. Excited about the most? Which driver impressed you?
I don't know, but Jack Mayer's just gone into the pits for some reason. Ooh. He was up there in about 13th, 14th, and now he's had to. He must have got a penalty at some point, as he's just done a run through the pits.
Yeah, it could have been that he was. He had a cutting penalty or something, and then you have a drive-through awarded by the virtual steward. So then he needs to do that. So that's unfortunate. So
yeah, as you said, who to sort of like big up? Who's impressed me today? Definitely, I'm gonna go with Persson. I think. Not really expected to get this far, but he's doing very well. Of course, you can see the distance between him and his teammate now, but he's just driving really clean.
Yeah. Oh, look at it! Look at that! Oh, look at Muscat! Oh, look at that! Oh my God! Oh.
Muscat wasn't allowing him any space back onto the track, and so.
But it was 3 wide in that corner. That can never go well, and it was difficult for those cars. Oh, but look at that! Look at that! Is that Stefano going for P3?
It is.
Oh!
Oh, and Virgil going off. He's spun, but is able to control it. Hopefully,
we're going to look back. What happens? Yeah, it was difficult for Sal to be fitting there.
Now Roy Verzel down to 11th. Wasn't the most disastrous crash, but. Has got a lot of climbing to do. He's got Mark Fuller ahead of him, who's he's already trying to make maneuvers on. Look at that.
It was a bit of a half move there on Muscat, and I think Muscat didn't expect it there, and yeah, that's unfortunate. So yeah, now we've got Wesley in P3. Well, we also had an incident, and now it's Muscat still in P4 with Kumar in P5, and Kumar is actually doing a decent job because he's actually making sure there will be points to for Racing Team Scotland and a good point. So yeah.
Well, you say that Royce Roden's already made it up to 14th. He's back in those points, so he is looking to climb as well. But yeah, the big difference there, Stefano already getting ahead of Muscat, and Stefano has that pace. He's going to start closing that gap.
And Royce Colton crashes with one of the guys. No. I think that's
Dan Hart.
That's Dan Hart. Oh, what happened there then? He just lost it on his own. Yeah. Roy just hit him. Oh, this is unfortunate. And let's see. Yeah, that is unfortunate for Roy Skelton as well to get up to there. Like, yeah, sometimes you have a good race, like race 1. In race 2, okay, he got hit by Stefano, but from there it only went downhill.
Oh yeah, it's just Roy is really wanting that win now. I'm still sticking on him with my cameras here, Menno, and he's wanting it too much. It was that same problem that we're talking about for Erhan Javorski there, who's now up to 7th. He has been climbing. You got to think starting from the pit lane, and it's whenever you want it so much, you'll overextend. You'll break a little bit late.
Kumar crashes.
Oh,
what happened there then?
He's still holding on to it though. Overdoes it. I hope you're looking back over that replay.
This is also really unfortunate. I see the replay. Really unfortunate. It was like just a tap on your rear, and it was just like he was being hit in a wrong angle, and I think it was a bit Kumar coming back to that line in the other car. I believe that was just downwards. Yeah, just having already been there. So that's also a bit of Megane racing. A lot of unfortunate incidents, which if you go, and go around.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't keep to the race line if there's another car on it.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? So, that's now given so much space for Muscat to get ahead, and Downard now being attacked there by Erhan Droski.
Yeah.
He's made it up to 6th.
Yeah, this is crazy. Erhan Judowski in P6 going for P5. Erhan Judowski just, yeah, made a huge mistake by not starting from the front row, because, yeah, he would have been
first.
He would have been the guy that potentially would have led the race if he
Can we
didn't.
just say as well, for Erhan, going from 20th all the way up to 5th at the moment, this has been an amazing drive for him.
Yeah, and don't worry, guys, that watching the broadcast, Erhan Judowski will be in championship contention. I'm pretty sure. Only, yeah, today's races were not going like he planned, but yeah, he just now needs to look if he can keep it as good as he can. Yeah. Now he's going to hunt his teammate.
I wonder if Muscat will allow him through, because Jaworski clearly has the pace here, doesn't he?
Yeah, depends. Yeah, I know that they're with each other on a TeamSpeak channel, so they can communicate with each other. I think if Jodowski really is that much faster than Muscat, he might allow him through. So we shall see.
I'm gonna keep my eye on it, because that is really intriguing me, because how much time he has closed out here. Near enough down to 2 temps now going into turn 1, the two of them.
Yeah.
If they're going to swap over, it's got to be here on turn number 2, doesn't it?
And it should be now before WCS Renault gets away, because yeah, if Aaron wants to do something, yeah, he needs to go for that position of WCS Renault. So it will be very interesting. Both the Multiforce in good position, but not in the position we expected them. While we now have Aaron Jodowski passing Jason Muscat.
And Jodowski going so much faster and does take 4th position.
Well, we've got now Wesley Stefano with, well, we don't know, maybe a potential penalty or of some kind if he crashed, Roy, and I'm not sure, because I saw it in glimpse of an eye. It could have been an incident which can be explained that both cars have a bit are to blame. So yeah, you've got the Multiforces, then you've got Josh Downard with an amazing race in P6. We got in P7 Peter Jones, great race too. And and then we've got Royce Groten. Where is he now? Already in P9, but yeah, it shows that
just behind him there's a crash out. Oh, keep my eye on that machine. And who was that? Versal, yeah. Completely turned around on the track, and no, we can't turn around there. Getting into the way of other drivers.
Oh, this is a bit unfortunate for Versal, because Versal, showed a lot of skill in race 2 and driving around of the problems, and now he's into the problems and out of the points.
Yeah, Royce Rowan holding on to 9th. He has been making that climb. Remember, he dropped all the way down to 16th earlier after his collision there with Stefano, and so it's coming back into it.
Well, what I find very interesting is that both the Adonis cars were pretty quick in race 1, but even Adam Pinches was driven on around the 14 seconds or something at the finish, and now in race 2 it looks like he's actually quite dominating the race, and of course his nearest rival is his teammate Craig Pedersen. So this is actually far more than I had expected from the team. Which I, of course, I'm the owner of, but in the commentary, I'm not watching it as a owner of Adonis, but I'm more watching it as a fan, and this is something that really excites me. But I didn't expect it. I expected the red-white cars of Multiforce to do well, but they're still up there. And
you say to do well. Look at them, 4th and 5th. That's well, if I call it.
Yeah, it's well, but if you know they could have started from 2nd and 3rd position, it would have been, more in especially from Jajowski, at least at this race, would have been more in. So
I'm trying to look for a battle on this track, because if you're looking at it now, the cars are starting to spread out a little bit. The closest two together we have is either Jason Muscat and Josh Downard, or right back towards the middle we've got the trio of Miguel Machinio, Kumar and Fuller. Although these it looks like drivers are quite content with where they are now. They're not going to risk it here into the last couple of laps.
Yeah, can you give us the top 15 positions where they are now and
yep, so
who's currently
is leading. You got Patterson behind, Stefano in third, Jaworski fourth, Muscat falling behind a little bit, but a solid fifth. Downard trying to chase that down. He's got 2 laps to do it to get fifth. Pierre Jones in seventh, Clip eighth, Schroeton ninth. He's trying to chase down Cliff as well, and maybe, just maybe, will make the move. He's got 2 laps to do it in, as we said. Penny in 10th, Machino in 11th, Kumar 12th, Buller in 13th, and all nearly lost it there, unfortunate. 14th, you got Hermans, and then 15th is Hoekstra, who is being chased very closely by Potters, who is wanting that 1 point so much.
Yeah, and now in P17 is Jack Mayer. He's got a really good race. If you look at what his first race was and what he now is doing at the second race. So Jack Mayer now in P17 is still in contention for some points. And I believe we've got 1 or 2 laps to go.
Yep, so it is. They're currently on lap 12. It says 13 on your overlay.
Yeah.
I have to have a look at that. Stefano up in third, but unfortunately still too far ahead. I mean, I'm still trying to look for a battle for you guys. Go quickly, 8th and 9th. Matthew Clip defending from Roy Schroeton, who wants that extra point so bad here, Menno.
Oh, look at that, look at that. And Schroeton is looking at the accelerating points to pass. Can he do it here? Late dive? No, no, no.
He's not going to risk it. He needs to be sure that he can make the maneuver. Oh, Clip with some really aggressive braking. Yeah. All fair, I say, because he did brake early, but he was wide. Dura Schroeton chasing behind. He's going to be looking for that opportunity here.
Oh, look at that inside. No, no room, no room, or maybe room. Force a bit of room. Yeah, this is. I think this is pretty fair. This is bumper to bumper. I think it was not a big push or something. No, so I think this was a good.
No, that was Matthew Clip braking a little bit late and having to go out wide, so he lost the pace on that to Roy.
Yeah.
Behind Penny, is he thinking about the manoeuvres? We're coming down to the last minute. I don't think Penny's got the pace to catch up. He is just trying to push it too much, and so he's going a little bit wide on the exits.
Penny's getting closer. Penny is Joshua Penny is driving 2 really good races. I think was a bit in a different position at the start of race 2, but now still it would be a top 10 position, and that will be something good. Oh, look at the dive of Penny!
Oh!
But no, it looked like he was going to dive it, but no.
Still chasing him. Still hunting that down. You can see trying to make the maneuvers. We're going on to the last lap from the leaders. They're just coming around the last turn. So Penny, you have got literally so little time to make this.
Yes, and now we are going to look at Adam Pinches, and Adam Pinches is going over the finish line.
There
and
you go.
There he finishes. He wins race 2, and his teammate Craig Patterson in P2. So Pinches won P2 for Patterson, P3 for Wesley Stefano gets a double podium, P4 is for Aaron Jajowski, while P5 is for Jason Muscat. Joshua Downard.
Downard hit into the wall. He's gone out wide. He might just lose everything here. He's got to regain it. He's stuck in the middle.
No, but because we finished.
Unfortunate.
Oh, unfortunate. Yeah, well, unfortunate for him. We've got Peter Jones in P7 with Roy Skelton now in P8. Yeah, Roy Skelton will not be too happy if I know it was in more Magic Clip 9 and 10th position for Joshua Penny, 11th position for Miguel Machino, Nyan Kumar P12 with P13 for Mark Fuller, Rob Hermans P14, and the last position for Jack Mayer. Jack Mayer, after a difficult race, I don't wanted to say another word. After a difficult race 1, now got 1 point for P15, and Roy Verzel, he lost out on points in race 2. He will not be the happiest bloke. And Dan Hutt also lost out after a crash, and Potters also. So the guys that spun in the race, I think, lost out. But yeah, that's something we actually expected. If you spin out, then it will be difficult to get a good position back. So yeah, that was race 2. So interesting. If my calculations are correct, it will be Wesley Stefano leading the championship, barring any penalties, of course, but that we will be looking later. Let's see. Then I think it would be Adam Pinches in P2, because P4 and P1 will be good. Then we've got Royce Cloton with a win in P8, so he will be good in the points. Yeah. Aaron Jajowski scored good points, not of course maximum points. Jason Muscat scored decent amount of points. Frizzell, decent amount of points in race 1, no points in race 2. Niranjan Kumar in the points, but yeah, I believe a bit unlucky in race 2. Yeah, only 12th, so interesting.
Yep, so that is it all wrapped up here, isn't it, Menno? We're going to be getting a couple of drivers, of course, to talk to. But this week so far, just quickly before we throw on over to them, your thoughts there, Menno, before we go to the drivers?
Well, yeah, good racing. Yeah, only race 2 was a bit more wild than race 1, but that's normal, I think.
That's what you want from a sprint edit. So let's bring in these drivers, of course.
Yeah.
So, lads, we're bringing you in one by one. And let's just start off. Adam Pince's amazing drive from you and Craig, of course, your buddy. How, like, after that first lap, were you just there straight away going, we've got this. We have got this entire race?
Not really, because Mascot is still behind us. But Greg did some mistake on the second lap, and after that we both agreed it's the best if he let me go, and then we push over. Mascot did a really good job, because he defend for 5 laps, I think, and we can get a good gap. So yeah, thanks for Greg for let me pass.
Yeah.
Not sour at all there, Craig. So,
I'm fine.
So, of course, let's also talk to you, Peter, there a little bit further back. How do you think your race went?
Race 1 was debatable. I didn't have the best race, because I didn't practice nearly as much as I should have. But I guess I paid the price for it. Ended up finishing 14th. I was being caught by, I think it was Mark Fuller, very close to the end of the race. But I managed to hold him up and finished P14.
Not a bad day's work at all. And then, of course, we just brought on in Joshua Penny. Dude, a very up and down couple of races. You were putting on such a good performance, though, dude.
Well, thanks for that, but I'm a bit disappointed by race 2 in particular. To be honest, I'm quite furious, actually, but we'll get on to that.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be having a word with some people after the race, of course, but nonetheless, some outstanding overtakes from you, dude.
I tried. Well, of course I tried. Race 1 was a very close fight with Craig Patson, who I see is also in the call here. Yeah, brilliant race there, Craig.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, and so tense as well, defending all the time. I tell you what, it's so much harder to defend than to attack. And in the end, I couldn't hold him off, and he went through. But I was able to salvage P7 in the end, which I was pretty pleased with. But race 2, as you saw my opportunity when I found myself second on the grid. A couple of people didn't start the race. But ended up getting spun out of P2 on the first lap by a pretty stupid move from Roy Schroten, just missing his braking and clouting me from behind at turn 2, trying to win it on the first lap. But whatever the case, I ended up dropping right down to the back, and I had to fight past 10 cars to get back to even 10th place. But I managed it. It was 2 top 10s in the end, so I can't be too upset. It's just, I know I could probably have fought for the podium or even a win in race 2 if that had not happened. So I'm pretty annoyed by that.
So you talk about Ryan. Well, here he is in chat. We're not going to get any fights. You lads can do that afterwards. But
no,
Roy,
that's the wrong Roy. The guy that hit me was Roy Vazil. That's
okay. You said Sharon earlier.
Good you cleared that.
Yeah, good.
yeah,
I didn't want that to kick off here. But Sharon as well. You're in a similar position there as Peter, of course, where you unfortunately got spun out. How do you two, like, I'm going to give it to Roy first and then we'll go to you, Peter. What is your sort of mindset? What is going through your head when, you've been pushed to the back? I think it was 16th in your case. What is going through your head when you're there like, okay, I've got to put my foot down and I've got to climb spaces. I've got to climb up that ladder.
It's so frustrating because, I was running P2 before that. So it was a great opportunity, and to just be hit from behind. The first thing I remember thinking is, oh no, I can see him coming in my mirror. He's going to hit me, isn't he? And he did, and I ended up getting pitched sideways. And my thoughts then were, save it, can't lose this place. In the end, I ended up spinning down to the back, and then it was just pure anger. And from that point on, you're fired up. You're fighting through the field. Every car you see, you don't really think of them as in the same race as you anymore. You just sort of see them as the next target and the next target, because you're so fired up that you have to climb the order, and your brain does a very weird thing where it basically just shuts off and you do it.
Same question to you, Roy. Are you in a similar set, or are you a little bit more, let's say, calculated and thought out?
Well, I think Joshua put it very good, but the only issue is that you can't really go full pace the first lap, at least, because your tires are still too hot from the spin, and you hurt it for the remainder of the race. They hurt a lot more than they would usually do. I think Joshua is having a spin again, but or he's still driving, I don't know. But it's just annoying, I think. And yeah, indeed, like Joshua said, your mind just turns off, and I got a little bit angry, and then I managed to get back to the pack and then downspin, and he took me with him as well again. So I had to start all over again, so that was pretty annoying, and the tires were gone, and seeing where other people ended up, it's a big shame. But yeah, knowing race 2, it's always a bit like this, so everyone's gonna have it once in the season at least, so let's just have mine out of the way now.
So, final question from me anyway. Don't know about Menno, but are we still feeling that it's got to be Multiforce, Racing Team Schroten, and Adonis as the top 3 contenders for this, season? Looking at it, lads.
Well, that's now easy to say, but yeah, we forgetting to include performance racing, I think, as well. We will be around there as well. But those teams look very strong. But I'm pretty sure we will see other teams actually win as well. I guess the team TC Off or Rookie Monsters and I believe team Reventon and Arctic Legends could all win a race. I think it's really close. Okay, you will have some teams with more experienced lineups, maybe stronger lineups, but and those will be favored in the constructors. But like I said before, we will have around 12 guys that can win a race, and sorry, that's the Dutch. 14 guys that can get on the podium. So it's so also competitive, and we now saw a really good racing and some drama. So that's what we want to see. And getting back on everybody that's now currently here is that Joshua did good races, but wants even to do better. Adam Pinches on his debut gets a win in race 2 and P4 in race 1.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, we just removed Joshua because he's got a problem with his microphone. Peter Jones with, of course, a better race 2 than race 1, and Royce Gonson, yes, a good start of the championship, and then, a bit unlucky race 2. But you just see that everything is so close, and can't wait for the rest of the season to come forward, actually.
I think we're going to have to wrap it up there, unless, Menno, do you have any questions for the drivers?
I got one question for Craig Patterson. If you're still there, Craig. Craig is speechless by second position. Of course, that's understandable, but yeah. Well, so no question for Craig. Maybe for Adam. You still there, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, having won the second race of the evening, do you think you will be in well, championship contention, or you think it's too early to say, or do you think, well, with the driving today, you gained a lot of experience which you can use the upcoming rounds? Or, you think you can hunt for a title, or do you think, well, this is too early to say?
It's still early to say. I got lucky both races. So yeah, I want to maintain this results, top 5, even top 3 if possible. But I'm just here for experience.
Yeah. And to have fun, I guess. Yeah, and racing against a lot of guys that are new to you. Are there any rivals now which you think, hey, I really that guy really gained my respect over today's race, or some people you say, well, oh yeah, this was unlucky, I hit that driver, or we had an unlucky coming together, or is there anyone in particular who you think, well, yeah, this will be my rival because we have a amazing fair battle today?
To be honest, I only fought with Muscat, so I don't really know the other guys yet, other drivers yet. So I have to wait till front 3, I think, when I have some more experience with the guys, and then I can see who is aggressive, who is not, in the rival stuff.
So that's good to hear. And then okay, the last question now for Craig, because I believe Craig is around now. Craig?
I've been here the whole time and no one's asked me a single question.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm now going to ask you a question.
Oh, good.
Is what you had the races you have today? Is that you're happy with the results also from race 1? Is this what you expected it to be, or even more?
Race 1, I felt I had a bit more pace than guys around me, but track is really difficult to overtake. I got really lucky with trying to overtake Penny after turn 1. But I was happy with race 1 overall. Race 2, I couldn't keep up with Adam. As soon as I let him through, I tried to stick with him, but I'm happy for the result. Just wish I had a little bit more pace to challenge Adam, but he just owes me next time.
Yeah,
Make sure he doesn't forget it.
Yeah. But this of course is a great start from you in the season as well. So I think you should be really really happy. So yeah.
Yes, I am.
So I think this is more or less it for today's broadcast. Corey, can you take us around with the upcoming events of WCS League?
Yep, so of course, guys, next Wednesday, not tomorrow, the week after, we're going to be heading on over to the Red Bull circuit. It's going to be there for the GP Racing series, of course, and then next time here with the Meganes 2 weeks from now, we're going to be heading on over to Mugello. Ooh, love a good Italian circuit. Should be seeing some good racing there from the lads on the track. Remember, same time as the night, so expect this all to be kicking off from 7:30 from ourselves here at WCS. Loved every single moment of it, didn't we, Menno?
Yeah, it was amazing. Good commentary, good racing, everything. Yeah, and you lost your how you say it, your sim racing commentary virginity. So yeah, you're now one of the big boys here, and we will be back in 2 weeks with another broadcast, and hopefully more exciting moves, more drama, and more of everything. I want to thank you for watching, and we will be there in 2 weeks. Bye bye.
Let's get digital.